Hello everyone, and welcome back to Peppa Pig Tales. Today is a very special day because Peppa has a brilliant idea. She wants to open her very own school. Isn't that exciting? Let's see what happens when Peppa becomes a teacher for the day. Look, here's Peppa. She's gathering all her toys and books. Mommy, Daddy, she says, I am going to start a school and I will be the teacher. Mummy Pig smiles. That's a wonderful idea, Peppa. But who will be your students? Peppa thinks for a moment. George can be a student, and Susie Sheep, and maybe even baby Evie. Peppa sets up her classroom in the living room. She has a little chalkboard and some colorful chalk. She arranges chairs for all her students. Welcome to my school, she announces proudly as George and Susie Sheep arrive. George says, Dinosaur. Peppa giggles. Yes, George. We might learn about dinosaurs later. But first, we need our final student. Just then, baby Evie arrives with her mummy. Evie is very small and very cute. Peppa feels very grown up. Hello, baby Evie, she says in her most teacher-like voice. Welcome to Peppa's school for very clever people. Evie just gurgles happily. This is going to be an interesting first day of school. Right, class, says Teacher Peppa. Our first lesson is learning the alphabet. A, B, C. She writes the letters on her chalkboard. George looks a bit bored. He wants to play with his dinosaur. Susie Sheep is trying her best to follow along. But what about baby Evie? She's more interested in crawling around and exploring the classroom. Evie, sit down please, says Peppa, but Evie doesn't understand. She crawls over to George's dinosaur and tries to pick it up. Grr, dinosaur, shouts George, protecting his favorite toy. Oh dear, being a teacher is harder than Peppa thought. Maybe she needs a different kind of lesson for such a young student. Peppa has another idea. Okay, class, new lesson. We will learn about animals, she exclaims. This will be much more fun. She holds up a picture of a cat. What sound does a cat make? Susie Sheep raises her hand. Meow, she says. Excellent, Susie, praises Peppa. Now, what sound does a dog make? Woof, woof, barks George. Very good, George, says Peppa. She feels like a real teacher now. Now for the hardest question of all. What sound does a goldfish make? Everyone is quiet. A goldfish. Susie and George look puzzled. Even Daddy Pig, who is peeking into the classroom, doesn't know the answer. They all look at Peppa. Peppa smiles. It makes a blop blop sound, she says, making a funny face. Everyone laughs. Now it's time to teach baby Evie. Peppa knows she can't ask Evie about letters or animal sounds. So, she decides to teach her something very important. How to play. Our next lesson is building blocks. Peppa brings out a big box of colorful wooden blocks. Evie's eyes light up. She loves blocks. Peppa shows Evie how to stack one block on top of another. Look, Evie, we can build a tall tower, she explains. Evie watches carefully. She picks up a block and tries to put it on top of Peppa's. It wobbles a little, but it stays. You did it, Evie. Cheers, Peppa. George and Susie clap their hands. Baby Evie is a very fast learner. They build the tower higher and higher. Red block, blue block, yellow block. It's the tallest tower they have ever built. It's almost as tall as me, says George. Suddenly the tower starts to wobble. Wibble wobble, wobble ... and crash. The blocks all tumble down, but nobody is sad. It's so much fun to watch them fall. Baby Evie giggles and claps her hands. This is the best lesson ever. After the building block lesson, Peppa decides it's time for music class. Everyone, follow me, she says, marching around the room. She finds some pots and wooden spoons from the kitchen. These will be our drums, she declares. Daddy Pig looks a little worried, but Mummy Pig just winks at him. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go, shouts Peppa. Bang, bang, bang go the pot drums. Susie Sheep finds a shaker and joins in. Shake, shake, shake. George finds two saucepan lids and crashes them together like cymbals. Crash, clang, crash. And baby Evie? She is happily banging a small spoon on the floor, making her own little beat. What a noisy, happy orchestra. They make music for a long time. They march around the living room, playing their instruments as loudly as they can. We are a famous band, shouts Peppa. Even Mummy and Daddy Pig start dancing to the music. Peppa's school is the most fun school in the whole wide world. Every lesson is an adventure. Next up, it's art class. Peppa gets out big sheets of paper and lots of colorful paints. Today, we're going to do handprint painting, she announces. She shows everyone how to dip their hands in paint and press them onto the paper. Look, a handprint flower, she says, using green paint for a stem. Susie Sheep makes a beautiful pink handprint. George, of course, makes a green one. It's a dinosaur's footprint, he roars. Peppa thinks that's a brilliant idea. Now it's baby Evie's turn. Mummy helps Evie dip her tiny hand into the yellow paint. Evie presses her hand on the paper and then giggles as she looks at the bright yellow mark. Soon the paper is covered in colorful handprints of all sizes. Red, blue, green, pink, and yellow. It looks like a beautiful, messy garden. Our masterpiece is finished, declares Peppa. Well done, class. Everyone feels very proud of their artwork. Being a student at Peppa's school is wonderful. And being a teacher is pretty great too. Now it's the end of the school day. All the students are tired but happy. Thank you for coming to my school, says Teacher Peppa. You were all very good students. Susie Sheep gives Peppa a hug. It was the best school ever, Peppa. George waves goodbye with his dinosaur. Baby Evie is getting sleepy. Her mummy picks her up. But before she leaves, Evie reaches out her little hand and touches Peppa's cheek. It's her way of saying thank you. Peppa feels a warm, happy feeling inside. She taught baby Evie how to stack blocks and make handprints. And baby Evie taught Peppa that being a teacher is about having fun and learning together. Peppa cleans up her classroom with a little help from Mummy and Daddy Pig. The living room is back to normal, but the happy memories of the school day are still there. Being a teacher is hard work, Peppa tells Daddy Pig, but it's also the best job in the world. Daddy Pig smiles. You are a wonderful teacher, Peppa. And so the first day of Peppa's school comes to an end. It was a day full of learning, laughter, and lots of fun. Peppa learned that everyone, no matter how small, can be taught something new. And the best way to learn is by playing and having adventures together. What a fantastic day! Thank you so much for joining us for this brand new Peppa Pig tale. Wasn't it lovely to see Peppa open her own school and teach baby Evie? If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more brand new Peppa Pig episodes. We have so many more adventures waiting for you. See you next time, everyone. Bye bye.